Although you had already made it clear that you would handle the matter yourself, as the elder brother, how could he watch his younger sister suffer because of this matter? So he asked Jungkook to match. He naturally has to do some things. They are no longer business partners. The coffee shop was filled with people. The two men sat opposite each other. Both of them exuded an extraordinary aura. Everything thought that the two of them were here to talk about work. However, both of them seemed hostile to each other. Looking at Sokjin in front, Jungkook's gaze was sinister. Previously, when he saw you in the Kim family's car, he asked Minho to investigate. At first, he thought that you had some secret relationship with Sokjin and he was mad as hell, but later he found out that you were Sokjin's sister. Although he didn't know twists and turns, as long as it wasn't some other relationship, it would be fine. If it wasn't because Jin was your brother, he would not have come today. Jungkook's lips curled up. Director Kim is very busy. He actually has the time to invite me to this kind of place today. What's the matter? Want to talk about cooperation with me again? You should know why I came to you. Jin looked at him coldly. Oh, Jungkook raised his brow. Do I know Director Kim very well? Sokjin looked at him sharply. Don't get close to her. Stay away from her. Jungkook sneered and leaned back, tapping table lightly. His smile was bewitching. She's my wife. As a husband, I really don't know why should I stay away from her. The anger flashed in Sokjin's eyes and restrained himself, urged to beat the infant man. If it wasn't for the fact that your people kept interfering, you and her would not have been husband and wife till now. So what? Who asked you to be incapable? Jungkook wasn't afraid of offending him. All kinds of words were ridiculing him. For the past 5 years, Sokjin had been trying to find a way to end your marriage with Jungkook, but Jungkook didn't let it happen. Although Sokjin have power to do things in his own, it's Jungkook involved. It means that no some ordinary people could handle this matter as long as he don't want it. Moreover, you are his wife. How could anyone interfere with his marriage? Sokjin is really angry, not strong enough. Is this how you, John Jungkook, behave? Capturing a woman, I don't want to make a huge deal out of it because since she knows about it now, I don't mind fighting you to the death. Jungkook smiled coldly. Kim Sokjin, you are just her brother. What right do you have to decide her life? You had no right to stop who she liked. Sokjin scoffed. Let's see, I won't let her be with an unkind man like you. Unkind man? Jungkook narrowed his eyes dangerously. His voice was almost squeezed out of his teeth. Who are you calling an unkind? You know how you hurt her back then? Minho and Uncle Han were shocked seeing two men, their verge of fighting. Uncle Han was worried and tried to call you, but Minho stopped quickly. If he called you, it would be very troublesome and things will be even more chaotic. Thinking that, they decided to go and persuade them to not make scene, but unfortunately, a cry of surprise suddenly came from the coffee shop. It turned out the man who I just talking while ago had started a fight. Sokjin was probably angered by Jungkook's attitude and stepped forward to grab his collar, his eyes as sharp as lightning. If you dare to get close to her again, I will not let you go. Jungkook was still smiling, although Sokjin was grabbing his collar. He didn't look embarrassed at all. He was very calm. If it wasn't for the fact that you are her family, I would have done it long ago. He is provoking your brother. Sokjin smiled disdainfully. Then you do it. Then he threw a strong punch. Jungkook didn't dodge and got hit it. He stepped back, balancing himself. Sokjin thought that he would fight back, but the man didn't even dodge. You are that weak. Jungkook felt that his lips got cut. He wiped corner of lip, then sneered. I don't dare to do anything to my brother-in-law. What if my wife blames me? Sokjin's pupils shrank and charged over again, but Jungkook took a few steps back, looking Sokjin viciously. Although I won't attack my brother-in-law, it doesn't mean I like to be beaten up. Let's end our conversation here. Farewell. Jungkook turned to leave but stopped after a few steps. I am determined to get her. No matter what method you use, it's impossible to stop me from being with her. Sokjin was obviously angry, but Uncle Han stopped him. As a brother, he did what he needed. Rest is in your decision. Whether you wanted to be with him or not, he will be with you. 3 days later, this can't go on. Do you want me to go with you to see a doctor? Jenny stared at your dark circles. You shook your head. No need. I will be fine in a few days. Ever since he told you that both of you hadn't divorced, you were thinking to weigh how to deal with it and actually suffered from insomnia. You are a little insensitive these past days. What happened that day? You seem to have become strange ever since you came back that day. Just tell me, are not we good friends? When you thought of those complicated situations, you felt that you didn't even have the strength to speak. Jenny looked at you weakly and went to make a cup of tea. In the way she jumped into Jisoo. Why are you here? Jenny looked surprised. There is no manager with her. Jisoo smiled. I'm not going to film. I was passing by here, so I came to see you guys. But Sarang is not in good condition for now. Jisoo rolled her eyes. Why not? Could it be that she's too excited that she couldn't sleep? How do you know she can't sleep? Jenny was surprised. Who wouldn't be excited, hugged by director June from the Jones group? What? How did you know? She went to my place that night. Would I not be able to recognize what she was wearing? But Jisoo's expression turned serious. There is something very important that I must explain to her clearly. What is it? Jenny asked in a gossipy manner. I can only tell her about this. Jenny made O sound and led her into the office. You looked up. She was shocked. Eva, she came and hugged you. You wonder, is she that free to visit you in your office? I saw it. She hugged your arms. What did you see? She explained that day she saw Director Joan hugged you even though you covered your face. She recognized you by your dress. Your expression turned ugly. She coughed lightly and her face really turned stern. I want to tell you in advance, online communication is the fastest. Everyone is currently looking for who that mysterious woman is. You might be found out by others. Be careful. You always knew about internet spread how fast. If she can able to recognize you mean others also can. After all, many people sitting by your side saw your face. You came here today to tell me this? She nodded. Yes, I just wanted to remind you to be careful. There is things I need to tell you. What is it? She sat beside you, looking little conflicted. I don't know if I should tell you about it. You laughed in irritation. Tell me next time then. She shook her head and looked at you seriously. I think this is not fair to you. You became curious. Actually, do you remember the client I recommended to you previously? She bit her lower lip. She is my relative. She is college student and cousin of mine. You nodded. Originally, it's private matters. If it wasn't for the Joan Group's director hugged you at the press conference, I won't tell you about this. What are you trying to say? You looked at her with amusement. I want to say, my cousin is dating Joan Jungkook. You are stunned. Jisoo lowered her head sadly. I'm scared about these things. If you and him be together, then I will be happy for you. But he is a dishonest man. A dishonest man? The corner of your mouth twitched. Yes, he was clearly dating my cousin, but still, he hugged you at the press conference. If it was in private, it would be fine, but it's publicly and they might expose you, then your reputation. You finally understood what she meant. You didn't expect this girl to think about you. You nodded and smiled. I know, thank you for your concern. Just like that, she looked at you blankly as if she couldn't believe that your emotions could be so calm. I mean, or not, she said, because Jungkook hugged you so you couldn't sleep well. You have dark circles under your eyes. Isn't it because of excitement? You raised your brow. Who told you that I was excited because he hugged me? That man had hugged you many times in the past. Furthermore, both of you had even done something so intimate between. How could you be so excited about this hug that you couldn't sleep? You were restless because your marriage with him was still there. You couldn't accept this. Alright, it seems like I'm a little meddlesome, but you have to be careful about things. I'm leaving. My manager is waiting for me downstairs. You nodded at her and bid bye, thinking seriously. At afternoon, you used public relations to delete your all marketing information on internet and clean the page. Although here is trouble between you and Jungkook, you still needed to be looked forward. You can't stay depressed because of the divorce and contact the landlord to see apartment. You wanted to buy the apartment nearby before because of the termination of contract with Jungkook. You had put this matter aside, but now he didn't accept to break the contract, so you could use this money for yourself. Since there is no work recently and you have others designer to look after, you and Jenny went to school and pick up Rovon, then went to see apartment. Since landlord was in hurry to sell apartment urgently, they lowered their price. The house was near Rovon's school on the 15th floor. It have 3 bedroom, kitchen and living room. Around the building there is supermarket and the library on the side, also cinema and not far away large entertainment area, and you can have delicious street food near. In short, this kind of road was very convenient. This means it's very expensive area. This house was a replica and the style of the renovation was very close to what you had imagined. If the price was suitable, it would be a good thing to get it. And landlord took initiative to lower price because they're hurry to sell it, so it might be fraud. There is agent hired by apartment's owner. They explained that their sort of money and they bought villa. As they moved and this apartment was left empty, but they have asked someone to clean it daily, and recently owner's husband's business failed and there is no fund at company to pay. So they needed to sell this apartment. You felt it's reasonable and talk about a little. A woman was nervous that you suspect something. The women give 10% discount. It means she cannot have any benefit from this apartment after selling. An agent also gave her words that you couldn't argue with businessman and consider time. But young woman's expression became somewhat ugly. She was urgently in need of money. You also saw her anxious and thought she might really need money, but you are not Holy Mother. It was impossible to buy a house in a hurry. For the other party, you asked for a few days to think about it. Although other party was unwilling, they could do nothing and you guys left from there. Mummy, are not we buying it? Rovun also liked the surroundings. You looked at him. Do you like it so much? He nodded. Jenny snorted. You can't buy it immediately. What if other party is not honest? Rovuni, let me teach you one thing today. Although there are some people who don't have intention to harm, but you don't know how to guard against others, you can't urge mommy to buy it all of a sudden without thinking. Or did you see how pretty she is? Eh, don't start it. Let me tease him. Jenny poked his head. Rovon, hug your hand. I love my mummy. I don't want you guys to get tired. This is nearby school. I can walk by myself too. No, you deny. You are too young. You can't walk by yourself now. Jenny also agree. But mummy, alright, if Rovoni like it, then we will ask your uncle when we get back. If it's appropriate, we will buy it. They nodded obediently. You guys eat snacks on the street and went back to home. You told your brother about it and he said he will check it first. You was afraid that he would pay for you, so you asked him not to pay as you have prepared money and you want to rely on yourself. Sokjin was stunned that you want to move out after living here for only a month. You reason him that it's really tiring to go back and forth. Sokjin bring Rovon with him and ask someone to check about house. There is no problem as long as papers are original. You can buy it because he was worried that you would be cheated, so he hired lawyer to help you. Next day, you signed the paper and bought an apartment. You felt warm seeing the documents. You also have your own property in the city that belongs to your own hard work. Owner handed you a key, but for safety's sake, you decided to change the lock and search for password lock. Jenny volunteered and you give her day off at work because Jungkook's list was not completed yet and you don't want to continue. But if this happened, then you have to spend more time to do this order. So you decided to finish his order soon and get on work. Since Jenny will look after apartment, what they needed, you stayed in the office and started to design. Later on, Jenny called telling that your identity has been exposed on Weibo. Your heart tightened. Someone dig out the pictures. You already cleared your page, but still internet went viral about the mysterious woman with director Joan. You asked her to check what's going on and you open your phone to take a look. You saw the picture of that day sitting together with Jungkook, watching the performance on the stage and Jungkook looking at you. At the time picture was taken, you were a designer and your British name was also exposed and your real identity being a daughter of Kim family. Your outstanding background was exposed like that and put on highlights with Jungkook as everyone was wondering who the mysterious woman was and how the heck information get deleted, but didn't expect it that the background of mysterious women is actually powerful. Comments are blowing, some are blessed and some are envious. They're literally having wholesome conversation on comments talking about matters even though he is not celebrity. This man have many effect in this country. Your identity was really dig out like that even your company. You're afraid that Rovon will be found too. Your face pale. Looking at news, you didn't care about other things, but if Rovon pulled out, then you have no choice to consider anything. You are looking, but suddenly Weibo interface collapsed. You blinked and checked browser. What was going on? You looked around and went outside to ask Jonghyun to lend her phone and check. Staff are all scrolling through Weibo. They are all surprised too. When they saw you, they turned off the web page immediately. Someone informed that if you are checking Weibo, then the system has collapsed. How long it will get it to repair it? This will depend on the skills of their internal staff. It seems like they know about it, so you didn't hide and ask for help. Kim Sun-woo was computer master and your expert too, but he can handle software, so he came forward and said that he will hack the system to take a look. He sat in front of computer as all staff and you surrounded him. You pursed your lips. This is illegal. It's cybercrime. If anyone find out, then it will be very troublesome. It's not that hard, but no one is allowed to tell anyone about it. Okay, I'm working. Sunwoo started and you felt that it's against the law for a system to be invaded just like that, but you have no choice. Sunwoo accelerated his speed, making everyone shocked. System was hacked by someone and Sunwoo had no option, so he reckoned his skills and said problematic for other party because opponent is an expert on it already. Sunwoo couldn't handle Weibo software. Other party had access quickly that no matter how much Sunwoo tried, he couldn't make it. You leave that behind and return to the office. This incident was caused by Jungkook. You are angry at him and decided to call him to scold him and opened the WeChat surface. It was nothing more than to accuse him for his evil deeds. If he didn't cling on you, then it would never happen. You sent message instead of calling. Are you happy now? Making me lose my reputation in front of many people. Why are you so troublesome? If you didn't do as you pleased, then now I would never face problem. Looking at people's gossiping about me, now you feel happy, right? It was work time and you didn't expect to get reply from him.